Hello, BookTube. I'm here with hopefully a quick video. It's sort of it's giving my experiences, but hoping to hear back from other people with their experiences on reading with long COVID. And I'm going to specifically do that because if you don't know, then I've had now long COVID for 2 years. Well, I got COVID just over 2 years ago. I was released from hospital almost 2 years to the day today. But it was quite bad, and then it got better, and then it just plateaued and it didn't get any better. And there's a myriad of symptoms, but the symptoms that I want to talk about that I think are related to the reading difficulties is cognitive ability that the COVID virus has done, and also preventing me from actually getting deep sleep. I rest, I sleep, I doze, but I'm fully aware of my surroundings, and it takes a long time to get the rest, and I have to do it sometimes in shifts to get it, and so and it changes from day to day. These symptoms, all these myriad of symptoms, sort of mix and match. And the cognitive ability or disability, I guess you would say, works in different ways. It's like getting a word out. Sometimes I can't even think of a simple word like hat. So I would say, oh, it's something you put on your head, maybe to keep you warm or keep the sun out with the brim. And, I can think of the word brim, but I can't think of the word hat. And someone will say hat. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, got it on the nose. And that is the way it is. And I can't remember certain things. Like, I know it's there. I know the word is there. I know the thought is there, but I can't sort of open up the door and pluck it out. And it's the same as reading. At times, it works well. Yesterday, I had a beautiful day reading. I read extremely fast for me under these circumstances, and I was very pleased with what I was. So I thought I was on a roll. But then today, I finished that book. I started and finished a book yesterday. I picked up doing a buddy read for Paradise Lost, John Milton's Paradise Lost. And I read the introduction, and it was very tedious. It was difficult to disentangle what was being said there. At one side of my brain, it's almost as if one area of my brain knows what's reading there, but I have to stop and think, okay, that's what they're saying. So it was very tedious, but I persevered. I didn't actually get quite through the whole introduction, so I thought I'd stop and I'd start reading the poem. So I started reading book one, and that was just the same. It was just so tedious because I have to stop and think of what's there. And and it's as if, like, I know it's there, and then all of a sudden, boom, it comes. And I'm not adverse to reading this type of stuff, so I'm aware of the style of poetry. I've even read Paradise Lost before, so I have no problems in that way. It's the current problems, also the tiredness, because I'm always tired. But I'm just wondering, do other people have that have long COVID? And I'm asking, is this something that you've experienced? I know it seems from my reading around that everybody is experiencing long COVID symptoms unique to themselves, it seems. But there is a few symptoms that are common, like a cognitive thing, and that's what I think this is. It's the virus is preventing my understanding of things at times, and it's just so frustrating. So after 2 years, what I've decided is that once I get up to a hard wall like that, where it is something like, if it's nonfiction, again, it's like the sentence structures that I need to parse and pick apart at times. And if I got to do that, and it really, really just grinds to a halt my reading and my pleasure because it's tedious, I have to put this aside now. I was trying in the past to persevere with it, push through, but I just find it so difficult to do that. So I put it aside until my brain is working a little better, and I move to something else that is a little easier, I guess, and that's what it is, because I've switched to the Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas, the first translation from 1846, but it doesn't take as much thought as Paradise Lost. There's everybody's aware, there's some writing that you just glance at, you don't need to know, and then there's some others that are a little more complicated, and I'm not talking about super complicated, I'm just talking about something is very simple, and then this is sort of less simple, and it's the less simple stuff that I'm having difficulty with. So I'm just curious to see if anybody else out there has or has experienced that is going through long COVID and has experienced anything similar to this, and how do you deal with it? So I'm very curious at that, because this is my way of dealing with it. Put it aside and come back to it later. Thank you, BookTube.